First try. Let's go. Welcome, travelers of the internet, to Brighthelm Recording. This is your host, Master Barkle, playing the Pillars of Eternity. We left off in Durgan's battery up north. We were at Galvino's cabin. When I got back on the game before I started recording, I got notifications that I needed to go defend the keep and, you know, some stuff like that, so I didn't record that. But that's why we're already in Stalwart Village when we returned. I had a little rest too while I was there. Got the good old Woodland Trails bonus, get that extra health. But we're here in Stalwart looking for somebody to awaken to retrieve the contact of Durgan's battery. The contact is like the passphrase to get into the battery. So let us get to that. While we're at it, let's talk to East.
I hope you've had some luck, and do take care with that device. It has a few rather delicate components.
Yep, I didn't find any ore deposits.
What? So it works? What a day! But why these gems? I didn't think the device would be able to pick up inert Audra. Fascinating. I have to study this further, but all the same, it worked! At last, a breakthrough! With that Audra to work from, I can refine the enchantments. We'll be digging up iron, gold, Audra, all of it.
Okay, here you are then.
This is going to change everything. Oh, and I won't leave you empty-handed, of course. Here, I had this set aside for supplies, but I don't think I'll be staying in Stalwart much longer.
It's a decent price.
I won't forget all you've done for me. They'll hear about this back home, I promise you. Who knows? Perhaps they'll name the next battery after you.
Rollen's battery. Maybe. That'd be nice.
You look like you've been in the wilds. You see my wagon out there?
Yeah, I did. Found the goods. My friends are all slaughtered.
You've saved my hide. I can't thank you enough. But I hope you'll take this.
I'll take my reward.
Here, as promised.
Yeah.
Thanks again. With a little luck, I'll trade these blizzards in for a sea breeze soon enough.
That'd be nice. And I've leveled up. So do we just go to random people and like...
That was way too much Blacksun.
Blacksun? I think it was like something you drink. I thought it was like... Well, I guess alcohol is drugs. Does somebody have like purple goo over their head?
Figured you'd be out of here in a flash after the fighting died down. Most people don't stick around after they figure out the ogres are making regular visits.
I already took care of the ogres. Well, I mean, maybe I did. I took care of one clan. Maybe the other clan of ogres would still fight.
I would have helped fight them monsters off, you know. If I didn't think I'd just get in the way. And with you there to handle things, everything turned out well enough, didn't it? Don't see why Havrick's still sour at me.
Read his soul. The snowy paths peel away, and the brisk air gives way to the acrid stench of smoke. A dark cloud billows up from the remnants of a burning house at the far edge of a rocky field. You are low to the ground, held in place, and above you the wind tugs embers back and forth like firebugs.
Not so brave now, are you?
The vision in your left eye is clouded, such that the figure standing over you is a collection of rough smears of black, cast in silhouette by the fire. Not so brave now, are you? A dark shape swings towards your face, and the subsequent burst of agony jars you out of the memory and back into your own skin.
What? Did I spill something on myself?
Okay. So you may be the town drunk, but there ain't nothing there. Nothing there. Maybe we could talk with this old lady?
Got to speak up? My hearing ain't what it was.
You feel her essence humming and buzzing. Another personality and set of memories lies dormant within her soul, convulsing as if in fitful sleep. The contours of that dormant soul are sharp, ragged. As you reach out for it, it seizes you violently. Uh-oh. You are standing in a darkened feast hall. Sturdy tables and benches have been stacked against the door in the far end of the room. You know it won't be enough. A few dozen other dwarves from your tunneling crew wait with you, shovels and pickaxes in their shaking hands. This is the one.
Zenove, please. If we go now, we can get behind the barricade. We won't do any good here.
He's right, and you hear agreement in the quiet murmur of the others. But Arms Warden Maroon ordered you to hold your ground here. Yet in those rising whispers, you hear the opening bars of mutiny. You've never tolerated insubordination from your crew, and you aren't about to start. So you heft your pickaxe and swing it into the man's skull. He collapses and the others fall silent. The acrid odor of urine rises from his body. So you might be a psychopath? Well, maybe not a psychopath. You just... I don't know. I don't know too much about the culture of the dwarves at Durgan's Battery. Because, like, maybe it is normal to not accept mutiny. Because he may have killed you if it was a mutiny. It seems like you just nipped it in the bud.
We're gonna go down fighting. Anyone who feels differently can settle it with me right now.
Your voice is hoarse from hours of shouting orders, but no one else moves. They cast their eyes down in the flickering torchlight. Something thuds against the door. The others raise their weapons, picks, shovels, and a few swords. But they don't dare flinch. Your own pulse pounds at your temples. You pull back from Tiana's soul, but you feel Zenove's wrath and ferocity tugging at you still. Her essence thrashes, lashing out at an unseen enemy. Zenove is powerful, but dangerous too. Her fury has anchored her to old and threatening memories. You consider that there may be others you could awaken. Diana, however, seems unaware of any of this, and she blinks back at you with cloudy, placid eyes. Honestly, I feel like she might be the easiest one.
Got to speak up? My hearing ain't what it was.
I'm gonna awaken Zenove and remember your battle in the feast hall. A tremor passes through Diana's face, and then her rumpled skin goes slack. After a racking cough, she blinks like someone slowly coming to consciousness.
That name. It carries memories of death, war, fury, the taste of blood. What do you want with it?
Her eyes have gone unusually clear. This one's far stronger. It will devour her from within, replace weakness with strength. But it may not be to your benefit. I need to enter Durgan's battery.
What trickery is this, stranger? You think a Pargrin would so easily betray her own people?
Her hands clench and unclench around an imaginary weapon. Zenove's essence stirs within the same battle-ready furor you sensed in her memory from Durgan's battery. She is dangerous. Beneath Zenove, Diana's overwhelmed consciousness struggles. You never betrayed Durgan's battery. Your loyalty is plain to see.
You speak like one who knows me.
Her fury abates, and confusion seeps into its place. You test its contours for purchase.
Then you're not one of Zoltan's visiting merchants, or Exandru's foreign zealots. You're one of us.
Even as Zenove speaks through the old woman, you feel Diana's consciousness recover and steady itself. Faithful Pargrunin like us must protect Durgan's battery from Zoltan's and Exandru's recklessness. Let us share the contact as proof of our shared purpose. Her eyes fly wide, and she recites something enchanting rhythm. Hammers of Durgan ring loud. May the anvil's deep music resound. Walls of the battery safeguard our works from marauder and wilder alike. Abidon's faithful travailed by the forge and the fires that brighten the ore. She takes a deep breath and her eyelids droop. Inside the old woman's body, the personalities and memories of Zenove and Diana vie for dominance. Diana is beginning to surface, but Zenove is stronger still, her rage and panic temporarily diminished. You perceive both pieces of the soul as something fluid and malleable, if only for a moment. Well then let's push Zenove down. She lets out a great sigh, expelling the rage and trauma of her past life like so much vapor. But when she looks back up with you, her eyes are bright with new energy.
Did I nod off? My, but I had the strangest dream.
She shakes her head and dusts her hands on her trousers.
So much work to be done. Pardon me, but I'd better check on those miners. At the rate they're going, it'll be another year before they clear that blazing shaft.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's done. And possibly won't be a problem. Now to head back up to the battery.
Does everyone else see that kraken?
Kraken? I hope the kraken's not attacking. I don't see one. No one's screaming and panicking. I will presume there is no kraken. And head as far north as possible. Man, to think so many others have tried before and just could never do anything to open the battery. And I just show up. And I do it like it's nothing. Hello there. Always good to see more kith on the road. You can relax for the time being. Ingot here will let me know if any ogres come up on us. Ought to be heading down the mountain soon, but I've still got some supplies if you need anything. Ooh, what do you got? Wow. Nothing much. Great. Help! Please! I'm down here! What? I just clicked on a rock and there's somebody down there. Okay, standing on a narrow outcropping far below the edge of the chasm, a villager waves his arms frantically. The rope is well out of reach and the uneven, slick surface of the chasm would prove difficult to climb by hand. Well, I guess I'll go do it. Around my waist and anchor it. No, I think Mainha. She's the big one. Your keen understanding of life out in the wilds includes a solid grasp of knots. You step forward to tie off the rope. Okay. The trapped man presses himself against the chasm wall. Please hurry! The ice is starting to crack! Looking down, Mainha can see another smaller ledge further up along the side of the chasm. It is close enough to jump to, but it may not be able to support much weight. Oh, it's Mainha doing everything. Oh. I thought I would use her as an anchor and then climb down the rope. Well, like Rollen would climb down the rope. Well, I guess. Okay, well, if the ice is cracking, jump! Mainha leaps into the chasm. Big old tank coming down. Mainha lands hard and the snow-covered outcropping shifts dangerously underfoot, but holds. On the ledge, Mainha has a moment to survey the surroundings. The trapped villager is almost directly below, his frightened face turned up to watch Mainha's progress. Mainha takes a moment to look around. Several sections of the wall below appear to be comprised of sheets of ice, like windows set into the side of the chasm. The thin ice is pocked through with air bubbles, and moving too quickly across the surface could cause it to shatter. So we want to go kind of slow. So start rappelling down. Mainha takes firm hold of the rope, gives it a few tugs to ensure it's still holding fast, and leaps away from the ledge. Mainha is making good distance, only to end up swinging boots first towards what appears to be a sheet of ice along the chasm wall. Mainha's feet crash through, and a cluster of icy shards comes crashing down. The villager yelps in pain as he's buffeted by debris. He'll be fine. As Mainha struggles free of the hole in the chasm wall, the wind begins to pick up. The freezing gusts tug fiercely at Mainha's clothing, howling past. You gotta keep going. Gotta keep going. Unfazed by the freezing winds, Mainha continues the descent. At last, Mainha comes to within arm's reach of the trapped villager and extends a hand toward him. Mainha grabs hold of the man and hoists him up. The villager wraps his arms tightly around his rescuer. Sections of the outcropping begin to crumble away into the darkness below. Passenger in tow, Mainha begins the ascent. With every upward movement, the man on Mainha's back cries out in pain. Mainha feels his grip loosening. Okay. Mainha's quite strong. She may be able to do the climb holding him at the same time. I don't know what everyone else is going to be able to do from above. Mainha loops some rope around one boot and then grabs hold of the man's arm with one hand. Even climbing one-handed up the chasm, Mainha makes steady progress. At last, Mainha reaches the top and climbs back over the side to safety. Oh, thank you. I've been down there for so long. I thought I was done for. I'm heading back to town. Watch your step out here. Yeah, you too, idiot. I thought I was going to get treasure from that rock. I guess I did get some money for it. Oh, there's ghosts. Okay, so that's the stairwell up, I presume.
That caravan must have had a half-ton of steel. Coinmaster Zoltan's finally getting his way.
For now. The other commandants will have his head.
Only if they don't tear each other to pieces first. I heard Maroon and Exandru.
Shh. Last thing I want is to get on Maroon's bad side.
Fine, just say the words then. I'm getting hoarse.
Oh, how convenient that they disappeared just before saying the words.
It definitely looks deserted.
Yeah. Do you think we'll find vessels and spirits on the inside of the dwarves? Though the wind and the ice have pried long cracks in the walls, the doors feel as solid and as cold as a glacier. Gilded panels are arranged in columns along the doors, though most depict scenes from daily life. Dwarves chiseling at tunnel walls, hauling minecarts, or feasting at long tables. One pane at eye level catches your attention. It's a relief showing a crenellated wall and above it, an indentation in the shape of an anvil. Well, I got that anvil tile. The anvil-shaped tile fits perfectly in the impression. You feel a warm thrum in your fingertips as you snap it into place. Okay. Hammers of Durgan ring loud. May the anvil's deep music resound. Strike the anvil relief, I presume. As you do, a single ringing tone whistles through the air. Your hand buzzes and vibrates like struck metal. When you look back at the relief, the panels on either side of the wall and anvil have come alive. Ogres and warriors of all races gather for battle, their shapes and silhouettes formed by flaring world heat patterns. The tiny figures move and dance, animated by the flicker and blaze of an unseen fire. Walls of the battery safeguard our works from marauder and wilder alike. You hear the heavy thud of some kind of mechanism loosening behind the plaque. So there's the door and then the crenellated wall relief here. What, the panel as in like everything? And strike the warriors? I would presume the wall relief, because it's about defense. The walls will keep us safe. It slides easily with the slightest pressure from your fingers. You guide it up and over the anvil relief where it clicks into place. Beneath it is a deep cavity. It's shaped like a dragon's gaping jaws. Abaddon's faithful travail by the forge and the fires that brighten the ore. Warm gusts from the open mouth, tingling your cold, numbed face. Examine the mouth more closely. The heat billowing from the mouth prevents you from getting too close, but the rim of the cavity and the tiny teeth surrounding it are blackened with soot. You accidentally inhale some of the vapor. It's odorless, but it leaves you lightheaded. Okay, so it's like sulfurous. You also notice that the dragon's tongue is a fire striker. It is hinged and attached to a chunk of flint. Okay, well, that ain't too hard. Press the dragon's tongue to light a fire in the mouth. Fire catches the warm vapor with a billowing whoosh. The dragon's eyes are alight and flames lick at the edges of its mouth. A few seconds later, the panel is sliding away from you as the two enormous doors swing open into a grand hall. First try. Let's go. I sense the presence of one of the other pieces of
You can
Geralt's
feel it in the air, Watcher. The dead still linger. Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
Kind of what I figured. What's this? This statue of Abaddon is mottled and tarnished, but each bolt and rivet appears crafted with meticulous detail.
Now this I haven't seen before.
We earned this. Durgan's steel has lined our halls in gold.
Your vanity dishonors Abaddon and cheapens us all.
These weapons are ours. Or have you two forgotten how to hold a sword?
The Malkachoa is strong today.
Especially so. I saw that too. So I'm guessing they had like 3 different bureaucracies, like the Guild of Coin and the Guild of Abaddon and the Guild of Warriors. You know, the Guild of Abaddon would be like the actual smiths and crafters, right? And they all argue and say, oh, we should use the forge for this, for minting coin. No, we should use the forge for making wonderful things. No, we should use the forge for making weapons and armor. You know, so they all went mad and started fighting and killing each other. Okay. At least, that's just my wild guess. Stairs already up? Is this going to take me to, like, the battlements? Okay, yep, on the battlements. An upper section of the side of the tower has crumbled, blocking access within. Okay. Some gauntlets of accuracy. Alrighty.
I shall be discreet.
Okay. Alrighty. Hopefully we do not spear ran into there.
I can do that.
What have we in here? Treasure?
Damn you both! My generation built this keep to honor Abaddon, not to further your greed and ambition.
We're Pargrunin. Our forefathers explored and conquered, but you've stuck us in this frigid hall.
paved with gold and marble. I won't allow us to abandon our legacy for your delusions.
No, you'll peddle it away to line your pockets. How much have you made selling our steel, Zoltan?
Again with your lies. You think I don't hear you turning the others against me? These walls echo, and...
Enough! I'll send the Forge Guardians on both of you if that's what it takes.
Okay, so maybe I was wrong about the Guild of Coin. Like, they were probably more along the lines of, let's make steel works to sell, as opposed to using it for ourselves or anyone else. We got vessels to deal with. Okay.
A simple test. That's settled.
What do we have? A record of production. Here is a current accounting of this month's production. 20 longswords, 15 axes, 12 hammers, 7 maces, 2 flails, 7 full suits of armor for Forge Guardians, 3 additional suits of armor. If the Commandant's remark on production rates, kindly remind them that we received 3 different work orders from them. Vasil, Mastersmith of Durgan's Battery. A note in another hand is written at the bottom of the page. What does Exandru need with so many Forge Guardians? Keep an eye on him, M. Wow. So they were like plotting for such a long time before things finally hit the wall. You think you glimpse flickers of movement in this tarnished, clouded mirror. And the same in this one. Okay. Battery shield wall. Okay.
I'll see what I can find.
Most of these crates and barrels are empty, and several are overturned. It looks as if they were cleared out in a hurry. A bill of sale. You unroll the scroll and see an inventory of weapons and armor, swords, shields, breastplates, and helms. All are listed as sold to a Lucan of Dunrid. The bill is signed by Commandant Zoltan, Coinmaster of Durgan's Battery. That was quite some time ago, I guess. Because I don't know of no Lucan.
Now this I haven't seen before.
He's a traitor to the battery. That was weird. Oh hey, secret door. What have we in here?
A simple test settled.
Everything's in ice. Encased within a thick sheet of ice, this dwarven corpse has been remarkably preserved, though his features are obscured by the frost. Clutched in a dwarf's hands is a large cloth-wrapped bundle, perhaps a pack. Oh, okay, well, it just melted away. You set your torch beside the frozen figure. By slow degrees, the ice around the dwarf's hands begins to melt, though the water occasionally threatens to douse your torch. In time, though, ice falls away that you are able to reach the satchel. The contents of the satchel are largely unharmed. You find a handful of stamped coins, some papers, and a scroll, along with a heavy iron key. Further searching uncovers nothing else.
Whew, good thing I sold most of my jewelry.
Yeah. Ring ding 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 ding. Like one of them gypsy wives.
Let me tell you something.
She'll bring these walls down around us.
Okay. Am I further awakened by more spirits? Letter to Zoltan. Oh, there's a bit of reading to do here. Okay. Esteemed Coinmaster Zoltan, I write to you in anger and bafflement. Have I not been a faithful customer to you? Have I not been fair in my dealings? Yet after all of our business together, your people turned me away like some filthy beggar. I arrived at the battery a fortnight ago, frost in my beard and not a morsel in my belly. Barely had I unhitched the horses when your commandant Exandru came to meet me. The priest told me that I would be made welcome, but my profane business would not. In short, I would have to leave at first light, my wagons empty. Certain that this was but a negotiating tactic, I told Exandru that I would of course see him compensated along with you. He left in a huff, and when I presented myself at the door, it was Commandant Maroon, your arms warden, who met me. She told me to leave at once, that she wouldn't have my coin-grubbing hands tarnishing Durgan steel. Now I appreciate forceful bargaining as much as any man of coin, but I was cold, hungry, and put off by her vehemence. So I showed her the letter you had sent inviting me to examine your latest stock of Durgan steel. Commandant Maroon drove a rapier through the letter and sliced it in two. She then warned me that her blade, a fine weapon indeed, would be the last I ever laid eyes on if I did not hie back down the mountain at once. Never have I endured such humiliation and expense only to return home empty-handed. I do not understand what has passed between you and your associates, but I urge you to take change. I fear the other commandants will be your undoing. Indeed, that of all Durgan's battery if you do not deal with them swiftly and decisively. Yours, Mr. Renato of Cesaro. So I probably should have put a little bit of Valian accent on it, but you know. I think it'll be fine.
Now this I haven't seen before.
What an obvious trap.
See now what the flame has shown us? Traitors! Cowards!
This looks like a temple room to me.
Zoltan's the only one with sense. Anyone who says otherwise is a fool.
That cheat sold our steel and kept the coin himself.
Maroon? She won't rest until our corpses decorate the halls.
So I'm guessing this is where all the clergy held out together. A bronze statue of Abaddon stands over incense ash and rusted metal tokens. Bone pearl, melee damage bonus. That could be nice for mana.
Keeping an eye out.
How long before the commandants come to blows?
Did you see the look in Maroon's eye? Exandru had better watch his back.
Your mom.
Alright. You open that back up.
Get out! Out!
What are you yelling at? So that was the feast hall where I presume Abaddon's faithful stayed. I don't really know where the other two groups may have stayed when they were killed off. Tables, shields, and collapsed stones have been piled up to form an impassable barricade.
We'll keep to ourselves.
But not impassable here.
He'll regret this. Now this I haven't seen before.
Ooh, Durgan iron ingots. Do not remove any equipment from the armory without permission from Arms Warden Maroon or Captain Gregor. Wanted to ensure that no one else could arm themselves. Okay. And there's the helm for Geralt's helm. As it has twice before, your vision blurs and fades to black. When it returns, you find yourself on your knees, a shattered sword in your hand and a broken, battered helm in front of you. Your helm. You can feel blood pouring down one side of your face, and you know for certain that you will never see out of your left eye again. Arrayed around you in a circle are other warriors, some from your tribe, the rest from an enemy tribe. They watch the combat in silence. You're going to die, old man. Your opponent is brash, but young and strong. You still think single combat was a good idea? You do. Last winter's famine took a heavy toll on your tribe, and your warriors were in no shape to fend off an all-out attack from its enemies. Single combat was your tribe's only hope, but not if you lose. Once again, the world stops. The memories trail awaiting your guidance. Well, if I'm gonna go down, I'll take them down with me. You force yourself to your feet and toss away your broken blade, summoning the last reserves of your energy. You charge your opponent. He's ready for you. His blade bites deep into your side, a mortal blow. He laughs, but the last laugh is yours. You are older and you are slower, but you're still strong. You seize the young warrior's head and with a roar of triumph snap his neck and drop his corpse into the mud. You remain standing, sheer willpower keeping you up, until you're certain that you are the undisputed winner of the combat. It's not until the last of the enemy warriors have left your village that you allow yourself to collapse. The last thing you ever remember is the hands of your people reaching out to catch you. Yes, yes, it's all coming back. My sister, my reign, the end. Oh, Geralt looks at his own spectral form with a sad surprise in his eyes, watching it begin to fade. But I've only just seen it. There's been so little time to know what to make of all of it. Well, I gotta get anything out of this, or... The wheel has no patience, it seems. I entrust my helm to your care. Whole and unbroken. Farewell, my friend. Of might +3. Girdle of the driving wave. Cannot disarm the trap, you wish to trigger it. Okay. Already got there. Oh, pillar of holy fire missed. Nerd. Badgradir's barricade.
I shall be discreet.
Okay.
We've got to survive by any means necessary.
We'll have blood in these halls before long.
The statue of Abaddon is mottled and tarnished, but each bolt and rivet appears crafted and meticulous detail. I'm pretty sure I've read that before. As you approach the doorway, a wave of essence ripples through the air. The ancient stones grind and groan around you, and a woman's voice echoes from the hall.
Stop right there. You must be some merchant come to speak with Zoltan.
There's a pause in which the woman's wrathful essence gathers like a storm cloud on the other side of the door. The entire room creaks from the pressure of her presence. Who's Zoltan? Another door.
Our illustrious coin master may let you plunder our armory, but I've got other ideas for dealing with your lot.
Her voice is sharp and loud, like the slamming of a door, As her words echo in the chamber, the ghosts startle and flinch, glancing about in agitation.
Turn and go before I show you how an arms warden deals with trespassers.
A group called the Leaden Key is seeking something here. The ghosts stir, looking around and shivering. Their eyes widen and glow as they light on you, as if they're noticing you for the first time. Just as quickly, they gaze away and seem to forget you once more, but now they seem alert, wary. I'm guessing the Leaden Key carries some weight around here.
Whoever you're searching for, I haven't seen them. And none get past me.
Yeah, good bluff.
Leave our halls. Go back to whatever land you hail from.
Your halls are full of corpses. I need to know how you died.
You waste your breath on hollow threats.
There's a hiss, a grating noise, and the click of something sliding into place on the other side of the door.
I'll have you carved by Durgan steel, wretch. Then we'll see what the other commandants have to say.
The ghosts turn their heads and lock eyes with you, shrieking and howling. Aha. Okay. And there's a fragment of maroon.
That's it!
Perhaps not the greatest way of handling things. Oh, crap, I dare.
See now what the flame has shown us?
Perfect. Good thing it missed. But it still hit Tunk. Well, Tunk's fine. He'll be fine. Shh. Okay. I'm guessing that's down to level 2. But we are running out of time for today. And there we have done it. We've breached the battery. We are after the Durgan steel. We've accomplished what so many others have not. And while at it, we've uncovered secret plots between guild of, seems, merchants, warriors, and craftspeople. And they're all gathering intelligence on each other and having secret plots amidst themselves. I have a profound appreciation for the value of intelligence. Intelligence disrupts terrorist plots and thwarts attacks. Intelligence saves lives. This is Master Barkle from Brighthelm Recording, signing off.